You are listening to Soapbox Daily, episode 135. Hey, I'm your host, Matt Morgan, and happy Tuesday to you. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? I want to thank you very much for tuning in today. It's a funny, we never have enough hours in the day to get everything done that we want to. I don't know if anyone else has ever experienced that, but that's kind of going hand in hand with what our topic is today. What is chronophobia and what can we do about it? That is what we're discussing here today on Soapbox Daily, and thank you for tuning in. How you doing this week? How you doing today? How's your integrity been? Are you being the change the world needs? Are you setting the positive example? Onwards and upwards. It is a domino effect, as you know. We've always discussed this. Hey, keep your integrity in check. It's important. It wraps up honor and everything else all in one. So let's talk about what we're talking about today, which is chronophobia. Chronophobia is basically fear of time to a certain degree, specifically being late. I mean, lost time is never found again is probably Ben Franklin's most famous time quote. This implies that time is a limited resource that cannot be recovered. People steal and are robbed of time. They lose time while having all the time in the world. Yet none of us has the power to stop or slow the passage of time. Whether going to a movie, a party, or something else, failing to arrive on time may be unpleasant. It's also stressful and produces anxiety in some people. People under constant pressure to arrive on time for every event develop a persistent sense of uneasiness. Despite trying every productivity strategy and time management technique, some people can't help feeling that time is running out. They develop a feeling of never having enough time to meet their objectives and or being unable to maximize the time they do have. As a result, they start feeling anxious about time. I know people that are so stringent, so strict about being on time, and they just get themselves into a panic. And it's just like, I know, maybe I'm nonchalant about it. Me personally, time is time. You get there when you get there. I'd rather get there safe than whatever. But some people are just so adamant about it. People near and dear to me are so adamant about it. I know that they have to be on time. And if they're not early, they're late. And I'm just like frustrated because it's like my philosophy's always been, hey, my philosophy is you get there when you get there. Think about bad weather. I mean, I see these idiots on the road speeding to get there on time because one, they didn't leave early or they're running late or whatever the case may be. You know, they rather risk their life than be late. And it's maddening to see because it doesn't make sense to me. And my nonchalantness is I'm going to get there when I get there. I mean, if I'm 5 minutes late or an hour late, what difference does it make? You know, that's the reality of it. And maybe my views are a little unresponsible. Some people would have it. But frankly, I don't care. I mean, time anxiety is more than just a temporary increase of workday stress. It haunts people and causes them to lose focus on essential aspects, like your life. I mean, come on now. Time, unlike other aspects of our life, is beyond our control. So how do you deal with it and overcome the anxiety caused by an uncontrollable nature? I mean, time's uncontrollable nature, we can't do anything about it. We have to either make peace with it or just come to terms with it. I mean, chronophobia, yeah, it's the fear. It's the fear that's there of being late. I mean, heaven forbid, the fear of time, the fear of not having enough time. And I don't know, I think you just really have to prioritize what it means. I mean, personally, if I was an employer and somebody was late for when their shift started, if they made up the time, I'm cool with it because life happens. You have family, you have responsibilities, you have stuff you have to do outside of work. Work just pays the bills, it gets you a paycheck and pays the bills. And some people are like, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, the person before, wants to leave and go home, and the person coming in is going to be late. If everybody has the same mentality, does it matter? No. If everybody's given the same flexibility and it's a common understanding, then fine. I don't see the issue is. But being my responsibilities and people that rely on me and stuff like that. This morning I was up at 4:30 for my little one out to, of course, practice, and freaking out she was about the fact that, oh my heavens, we're going to be late, and just throwing a fit with tears and everything else. And I'm sitting there going, okay, there's a problem here. So I had to look up for it. I mean, yeah, chronophobia. It's a big thing. It really is. I mean, constant need to rush, constant need to be early, constant need to worry about time, blah, 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 blah. And it causes anxiety. I mean, I don't know. It just doesn't mean. I mean, chronophobia is a severe aversion to the passage of time. to be more specific. That's fine. And the symptoms of chronophobia, can cause fear, dread, anxiety for various reasons. Okay, fair enough. But then, of course, you look at the people that are like worried about being late. They always have to be on time. And I know that's a respect thing, and I know it's something that's proper, but think about it in relation to what you're doing, okay? And think about, are you going to get there safely? And what's the crucial nature of it? If it's a meeting, I can understand that. But there's no need to lose your head over it. Take a deep breath. If you're going to be late, rather get there safe than not get there at all. All right. I mean, time anxiety is common and it is nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, everybody wants to make the best use of their time, but worrying about the available time on their hands will do us more harm than good. So overcome time anxiety and stop being anxious about time. People must be realistic about their time, know what makes them feel successful, and make time for the essential life activities. This will help them relax and gradually let go of their time anxiety. You got to do it. And for heaven's sakes, please breathe. I mean, you can use all the time management techniques in the world, but there's only so much you can do. Realistically, look at the occasion, look at the situation. This morning, it was about weather beyond our control, but I wasn't about to risk ditching the car for getting there at a specific time. Neither should you. Think about your life. Think about priorities before everything else, and stop being a slave to the clock. All right. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I'm going to wrap this up. Yeah, I get there when I get there, but whatever works for you, just don't lose your head over it. If you get an opportunity, please check out our Central Hub website of themadmorgan.com for more information on all our shows and projects, current and coming down the road. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Have a happy Tuesday moving forward, and I will see you next episode.